Humans aren't the only athletes who use things like steroids to give them an advantage during competitions or games. Did you know that this also happens with horses? We're going to talk more about the use of performance-enhancing drugs on horses. Many students in our class are not familiar with the use of drugs on horses. So in this speech, you'll learn more about what drugs are used and why they're used, what the consequences are, and what potential solutions there are. While there are some drugs and supplements that are okay to give your show horse, there is a problem with giving illegal drugs and overfeeding supplements. There are a few different drugs used on show horses with the intention of making the horse go around more quietly, which would also allow trainers to lease their horses out to less skilled riders. According to theridinginstructor.net, doping in performance horses is defined as the illegal application of any substance except normal diet that might modify the natural and present capacities of the horse at the time of the show. A member of the Virginia Thoroughbred Association, Ernie O'Hare, claims that allowing an illegal amount of tranquilizers would level the playing field. There shouldn't be an equal level of ability for each competitor, but instead each rider should be showing in a division where they have the skill necessary to complete the course and should also be on a horse whose behavior they can manage. If a rider is showing a horse that they can handle, there would not be a need to drug the horse to make its behavior more manageable. The New York Times wrote an article about the death of a hunter pony as a result of being drugged at a show. The pony had been scheduled to receive 15 separate drug treatments in the days before his death, which included anti-inflammatories, corticosteroids, and muscle relaxants. A 12-year-old girl had planned on showing the pony for a weekend, and her trainer left to go administer an injection for the pony, and moments later he collapsed and died. Show horses shouldn't be given performance-enhancing drugs when the safety of the rider is partially dependent on the horse. The effects of the drugs on the horse could endanger both the horse and rider's life. Not everybody gets caught drugging their horses, but when they do, there are a few different consequences and courses of action that may be taken. Most times, for the use of drugs, the penalties for the use of drugs are not strong enough to discourage trainers and owners from using them. According to the USAF rulebook, the consequence for a first offense for a Category 1 violation is just a fine from $750 to $1,000. The penalty should be much stronger to discourage participants from drug use. Another penalty for horses found to contain an illegal substance is that they may be required to forfeit all prize money, ribbons, and points won at the competition and pay a $300 fine to the competition. Trainers found responsible for administering drugs to any horse may be fined and suspended in competitions for a 1-year period. For more offenses, the suspension could be longer. In some cases, the horse may also be banned from the competitions for a period of time. Sometimes they find that the trainer, owner, and rider are all aware of the fact that the horse has been drugged, and they will all face a consequence. If the trainer drugs the horse without the owner or rider's knowledge, then the owner and rider may not face any penalties. If the penalties for drugging your horse were stronger, it could deter more people from doing it. So there are a few ways that we could go about proposing a solution that could eliminate the use of performance-enhancing drugs on show horses. Horse shows could require that each horse takes a mandatory drug test at the event. It would be even better if horses were tested at the morning of each day of the event. For shows that are more than a day, if a horse is tested on the first day, the horse could still be drugged the second or third day. Dr. Kent Allen from the United States Equestrian Federation said that approximately 10,000 to 12,000 horses are randomly drug tested at USAF events each year. The horses at a showground cannot be monitored closely enough to be certain that nothing that violates the USAF rules is going on. More drug tests could be implemented to give officials the certainty that no rules have been broken. Another way that competitors would be less encouraged to drug their horses is if the judging of hunter classes was slightly changed. The judges of hunter classes look for well-mannered horses that jump smoothly over the fences with a floaty movement through the course. Trainers want their horses to place well to increase the horse's value. Some trainers are more motivated to give the horse any kind of calming drugs or supplements to get their horse to go around in the calm manner the judges like. George Mornis, a show jumping chief of the United States Olympic team, said that there are more and more medicated and exhausted horses because of the way that trainers deal with getting their horses to act the way that they want. Jay Duke from Horse Network suggests that horses should not be penalized for instinctive and natural physical reactions, like shaking their head upon the landing of a jump. He suggests that judges should be promoting a more natural manner of movement for the horse and therefore should not be deducting any points from the score for the horses that have more of a personality while going around the course. A combination of these solutions would be more effective in eliminating the use of drugs in hunter horses. The use of performance-enhancing drugs on hunter horses has resulted in deaths and injuries of more horses, and the consequences for drugging your horses aren't extreme enough to discourage enough people from doing it. The potential solutions will work towards allowing their horses to behave more naturally while showing. Over time, if stricter penalties were put in place with a combination of a goal of a more natural movement for horses, then people would be less motivated to drug their horses. Hunter show horses should be able to compete without the interference of performance-enhancing drugs to change how the horse acts.